Hello world. Yeah, it's kind of early. It's like 7:20 in the morning, Central Standard Time that I'm recording this. Yeah, I do have a lot of stuff that I need to get done today. Uh, yeah, please remember I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient psychic, so everything is for entertainment purposes only. The full disclaimer's down in the box. Along with the info for the tip jar info and the buy me a coffee and yeah, and we've got the other stuff all activated. So yeah, it's a bright sunny day today. You can tell because that side is east, and so morning sunlight. So sorry if the lighting's wacky, but hey, uh, we have to be thankful for what we get. Now we've got some crazy stuff that's gone on, but one thing that a couple things I do want to mention is over the past few days, we've had a lot of hullabaloo about the passings of Shannon Doherty and Richard Simmons and everything, but someone was overlooked. And I didn't even realize it until I caught someone I'm acquainted with, the Real Music Observer, and he also has the channel Politically Homeless. He brought up the fact that Dave Loggins passed away on the 10th. And he was in the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and he was the writer of the song Please Come to Boston. And he was very well known in the country music industry. I mean, he was cousins with Kenny Loggins and stuff, so, but Dave Loggins, a very prolific songwriter in the country genre, passed away also, so he will be sadly missed. Now, we've seen a lot of crazy ass news coming out right now. Okay, the EU, they just finished their continent-wide elections, and now they're having to vote who's going to run the show. And now Ursula von der Leyen, she's trying to get selected for another 5-year term of running the EU. But in the meantime, she has been found guilty of being a profiteer off of the faux flu. Is the EU willing to have a profiteer as their president for another 5 years? I get a hunch that the people that would be voting, who would be making the decision to keep her around, are somewhat PO'd because she made a boatload of cash, but they didn't. So she is going to get a lot of clap back because she didn't share the wealth of the world shutdown. And another thing that's going up for grabs right now is, okay, France had their elections and the French Parliament is supposed to be starting up. Well, they have to select a leader, a president of the French Parliament. Right now, they've got 3 different factions, and they need a 50% majority plus 1. Nobody is agreeing. The lefties that won, yeah, they have the majority of the votes, of the seats. But in order to get their dude running the French Parliament, they need to basically coerce the people from the 2 other big parties, like the Macron's middle guys, Marie Le Pen's writers, and then the odds and ends that are left over. This situation, it's going to get kind of drawn out, and you won't see a decision until like right around the Olympics in a week or so. So there's going to be a lot of behind closed doors deals happening in France, and we're going to see that a lot of it, they're either going to have to concede to abdicate their left side politics in order to get somebody in. There's going to be a lot of concessions made. Now, yes, yesterday was Camilla's birthday, but it was Queen Camilla's birthday, but it was also the opening of Parliament. Of course, you had the stupid little anti-monarchy idiots trying to cause upset. But Charles is keeping an eye on what's actually going on. And he's going to make some big announcements before the end of the summer. It's going to be kind of weird, but he's going to call out the left side. He'll be calling out the left side. And because he remembers the stories from his parents, and he had a lot of older relatives, and his grandmother informed him and gave him a lot of information because she was around during the rise of Adolf. She lived through the Second World War. She was considered one of the most dangerous women on earth. So he actually knows from living history. And he can see history repeating itself. That's partially why he doesn't put up with the bull poop from his second son. And he's been passing down this information, to William and Catherine. Catherine grew up hearing the stories from her older relatives. Catherine also has first-hand information because her parents were in the Middle East when all hell was breaking loose with the Islamic idiots trying to rule the world. So she knows the realities of the Islamic Republic of Iran and their tentacles. And Mike and Carol have been informing William of them, of what they saw, what Mike saw when he was with BA, and what he heard and saw firsthand in the Middle East. So William is hearing firsthand what happened. So he knows what is political rhetoric and propaganda and reality. So the British royals do know the bullshit. But because they're a soft power, they're not going to put up with allowing... They're going to start making their moves gently to shut down the Islamification of Great Britain. And right now we are seeing in Ireland, people are actually going and going to construction sites. They're like trying to build these shelters for that invading army. Well, people in Ireland, the independent Ireland that's still stuck in the EU, people are going forward and literally torching the construction sites and burning up the materials and preventing the construction from happening. They'll be the next country. Ireland will be the next country to do an exit from the EU. And they are, Chicago is a real Irish town. There's a lot of Irish. That's why they dye the river green every year on St. Paddy's Day. There will be, and believe it or not, there still is an undercurrent of the Fenians. The Fenians were the ones to make sure to get the Protestant rule out of Ireland because they're good Catholics. The Fenians will rise to get the Islamic bullshit out of Ireland so it stays a Roman Catholic country. So that's something the Tehran hasn't taken into consideration. They think that brainwashing by the Davos dudes, keeping kids locked up and brainwashed like they did to that kid in Pennsylvania. But they can't underestimate the tight, clannish family networks that are in the Irish. I mean, here in Chicago, a lot of construction companies a fair majority are owned by the Irish. And if you aren't drinking green beer on St. Paddy's Day, a lot of times you're not getting a job. So yeah, the Irish will be the next to rebel. And I get a feeling I get coffin ships. Get back in your history and read up what those are. The Irish are going to load the invading army by force onto modern day coffin ships. And they will tell the EU, bye, we're no longer playing your game. And they will be in close contact to basically, I'm not going to say they're going to join the UK, but they will align themselves very closely with the UK because it will be strength in numbers. And since they've already got a few idiot mayors, I guess the mayor of Londonderry is a complete idiot. She will soon be removed from office. She's one of those DEI idiots. Now, speaking of DEI idiots, we know that Kim Cheadle, yeah, she's a former Dick Cheney girl, buddy with Liz Cheney. Yeah, she was put into the Secret Service, in charge of the Secret Service in 22. And immediately after she got into it, a lot of the information pertaining to J6 disappeared. A lot of stuff disappeared. And her regime really started digging up for more people to lock up, to put in the gulag. But now, because she has basically focused on making the Secret Service a DEI group and has negligence all over the place, she'll be removed soon And because of her negligence, she may be charged with something pertaining to the incident from last weekend, from last Saturday. She will be connected with the attempted eradication of Donald. She will be traced. It will be traced back to her. Her negligence. Yes, it'll be traced back. Now, because they see all the stuff, everybody with, because of that, because of her negligence, and the fact that they got somebody who was basically, I can't say what I want to say. I don't want this taken down. But they did hire somebody who was inept. Okay? Sorry. Allergy meds haven't kicked in yet. Okay, we've got now most of the nation very pro-Donald and JD. So in order to get sympathy, Jojo now has the faux flu. Again. Well, why aren't they using the remedies that they were forcing into everybody else? Why haven't they pumped him full of remdesivir? Yeah. Are they giving him remdesivir or ivermectin? Let him follow the example of the little wop, Fauci. But they're going to continue to use the faux flu. Whenever, anytime it starts getting rough for Jojo, because he's not going to step down like LBJ did, because his wife and his kids like the comfort and the benefits. They're not going to let him step down. So whenever things start getting rough, they're going to start pulling the sympathy card, and Jojo is going to be, down with the faux flu for a week. But he has to do his 2 weeks of isolation so they can keep him out of the public eye. And the propaganda machine can go out. That's their tactic. That's what they did in 2020. They kept him in a basement. And they're using the same shit all over again. It's going to be, let's see what happens with him. Because, hey, he should be given the same medical treatment that so many other people were experimented on with. I don't think he's sick at all. They just need to keep him out of the public eye because they're afraid of what he might say. Because he knows. Jojo was around when Squeaky Fromm went after Gerald Ford. He was around in spring of '81 when what's-his-face tried to impress Jodie Foster with injuring Ronald Reagan. Yeah. Notice how, anyone who tries to clean up corruption, they go after. But, yeah. I mean, I admit it. I've got stuff I've got to get done. And so I want to get this up as soon as possible. And, yeah, let's see. Today is Thursday, so Saturday, the 20th, will be the live stream at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll put the reminders up as usual, so start getting your questions ready. So Saturday, yeah, we'll have our live chat, and looking forward to seeing and answering everybody's questions. And it's Europolitics is going to go nuts, and it expect some explosive stuff to start happening. I'm getting some stuff is going to hit big time bad in the Middle East right now, and be careful, especially when you're seeing in the stores here in the States. I had to go to the local Walgreens for something, and yeah, little chickie poo, the little teenager working at the cash register, was in her headscarf, and I was really insulted because, you know what? Boots Pharmaceutical, I find it's very insulting and offensive. You should institute, Boots Pharmaceutical needs to institute a worldwide dress code. No, if the in France, if the Olympics can put the statute down saying no symbols of religious affiliation, then that should be in every single business that deals with the public. But Boots, what are you afraid of? Because the UK has gone rogue Islamic. You got to force that crap down everybody else worldwide. Let me tell you, old man Walgreen is turning in his grave for how they've destroyed that pharmacy chain. But start complaining. People, start making noise. If you see somebody wearing in the abaya style, and that doesn't mean just the little drapey stuff, I mean the head covering and the face covering, any of that symbolizing their religion, start complaining. Tell them it's offensive. And make noise. And send messages to Boots Pharmaceutical, known as Walgreens in the United States. Start sending messages to corporate headquarters that you find it morally offensive, because by that, they're supporting pro-Palestine. We need to stop this in all our stores. Hoovers.com will give you the corporate information. Start making phone calls. Start shooting emails. In fact, send a letter registered where they have to sign for it so they know it's something to be noticed. Yeah, it's a trip to the post office. It costs a little bit more. But if they have to sign for a document, they're going to pay attention. Registered snail mail is a highly effective tool that people are forgetting about. So yes. And the other thing, yesterday when I was walking back, I saw this idiot by the dry cleaners, and he had one of these electric cars that's made in Arizona. And I looked at him, I go, well, you know, it's like how much coal is burned to charge your car up. And he goes, oh, well, it gets 500 miles. And I'm like, what about sub-zero weather? He goes, oh, it starts right up. And I looked at him, I go, you know that the batteries in that are lithium and cobalt. A lot of people are allergic to cobalt, and yet so many kids are consuming it from those energy drinks, that psychocobalamin crap that's in so many energy drinks and vitamin stuff. Be careful. Cobalt is toxic, can be toxic to people. And there could be cobalt fumes, microscopic organisms being released every time you see an electric car. So I go, hey, Bet you voted for Biden because you're actually making the air hazardous to other people. And another woman heard me call the guy, bet he voted for Biden. And she's like, she was in a gray SUV and she was like, make American great. You go, girl. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep spouting my mouth off to total idiots. I don't care if they think I'm a bee. You know what? I'm a little mouse that roars. So even though we're traveling solo, we do have a voice and people need to start using it. And don't be afraid. Oh, I'm going to embarrass myself. No. Start screaming bloody murder. And you'll be surprised at how many people come to support you. Oh, everyone, have a great Thursday evening. I will be, Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's 5 p.m. UK time. See you then. Bye.